Welcome to the channel Twin Talk Topics, where behind the scenes we argue like a married couple and sisters who just really can't get along or make a commitment properly. So, yeah.
She had to get that dig in
Express
there.
yourself. I had to express it. See, that's the thing. I understand you're expressing yourself. I'm letting you know you're the one taking it personally. Okay, so that's the thing. That's a huge problem with what I find. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of problems with humanity, and you know, who am I to critique humanity? I don't know. I'm a human, so I can critique myself. I can critique other humans as a whole, as a collective.
Worry about yourself.
Whatever, as a whole, as a collective. I would want somebody to critique me. If I'm a lot of people, and I've found this actually to be fact because, well, you said that I can't even get a conversation.
Okay,
so
I was quiet.
A lot of people don't actually express how they truly feel in the given moment. And I noticed this, like, it was immensely obvious when I went to different cultures around the world. One of them being in Peru, where like people in Western culture, people hold back crying, and they hold it in, and or anger or even laughter. Sometimes people, why do we do that? Why do we do that? It's beyond my control, and it's beyond what I can do nowadays. But side note, the spirit of Chullachaqui, he's a spirit of the rainforest. He wanted to make his presence known because the fires are burning and there's smoke inhalation going on all around the West Coast. And we are currently on the West Coast. And do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I do. Because
Okay.
you had a dig at me earlier about the whole commit thing.
Express yourself.
Oh, I am. I'm expressing myself. That is your perspective.
No, fuck no. Okay. But is my perspective right? Is it the truth?
in your perspective? Yes,
Fine.
it's right.
But is my perspective include the truth?
It includes the truth.
Okay.
But she's telling me that I wasn't committed to making a video this Sunday, which I told you I wasn't. I wasn't committed to making a video on Sunday because I'm tired. And you still brought this up, so that's telling me that you are still uneasy about this situation.
No, that's telling me you're uneasy about the situation. I was done with it. I didn't think you're going to bring it up right now. I didn't
think you were going to bring it up until you said commit, which you've been complaining about for the past 2 hours.
I just said that because the commit word was in my brain and I couldn't get it out now. I couldn't find a different word.
Okay. Then I'm dropping it.
May the power of Chullachaqui compel you.
I don't want Chullachaqui.
He doesn't care.
I care. I have boundaries. The spirit or power of Chullachaqui will not enter me unless I give it permission.
Anybody who understands the spirits of the rainforest will get that joke. And they'll laugh about it.
Okay, well, I haven't been to the rainforest, so...
Okay. You had some topics that you wanted to talk about.
I want to talk about communication and what the brain does and what humans do in order to communicate. And a lot of times when there is a personal issue, sometimes other people will use a different issue to make a big scene about because they don't want to reveal for some reason their real personal issue. So for example, if a wife is like deeply hurt about something that, he didn't do the dishes like he said he was the other day. She's going to take, sometimes this wife will take that as he doesn't care, and she's not communicating that to him. So, but she's receiving that information. He doesn't care. He didn't do the dishes like he said he was going to do the other day. So she may bring up, or it could be the husband too. Husbands do this too. It's not just a wife thing. She may make a bigger issue the next time with something else. Like, let's say he forgot to put his shoes on the rack. She may make a bigger issue about it, when in fact, the real issue is she feels he doesn't care.
So is that good communication?
It's not communication between neither the wife or the man communicating with his actions, saying that he's going to do what he says he's going to do.
And the wife isn't communicating that.
How she's feeling about it.
Yeah, and she's holding that in.
Yeah, and keeping that resentment in that she's feeling because of actions that were done or not done.
So a lot of hurt going on, huh?
Yeah, but I also, that's an issue I see with communication, not just between husband and wife, but with other people as well, with other humans. And one of the main reasons, or a factor to factor into this communication between relationships issue, is that the brain is a major projector. It is designed to project like your perception and your reality. So it receives information. The complex personality and mind of that individual receives that information and processes it how they need to, and then projects back out that reality that they are intuitively getting. Okay? So if I would like people to understand that fact, because I think that issue, the projection issue, is a major factor in all communication issues throughout the globe. So keep that in mind. The brain is a projector and it projects what it sees. And mind you, the brain is also designed for the flight or fight mechanism. It doesn't have, like, your feelings are generated, in your heart and throughout, your thoughts and stuff like that. But your brain is designed to protect you. Projection and protection. So if the brain is perceiving that it is being attacked, then it will project out some sort of flight or fight response, whether it's protection of flight or fight response or fighting back protection, flight or fight response. So keep that in mind, understanding communication between humans and beings. What are you look confused?
I'm just wondering where this topic originated from, like what circumstance it was.
Oh, no,
you don't have to say that. I'm just like wondering.
This has been floating around in my mind for the longest time. Like, it's been floating around my mind since I was like a little girl. Like, communication is really big to me. And I always thought, I was like, why don't humans understand this? I have been thinking that thought.
Yeah, or like
I've been thinking that thought since I was young. I was like, it's not that like they're both right. Like, two people could be right about a situation, but their brain is perceiving it differently.
Or avoidant communication. Like, it's such a huge issue to me, and I know it shouldn't.
Okay,
I know it shouldn't.
Can I just say something?
What?
There's a difference between avoidant communication and confirmed communication, that, okay, this situation is not doing well with the communication we have at hand. Maybe we'll step aside for a little bit, come back later on when we have better tools.
Yeah, so that's just too,
that's not avoiding.
That's too, like, Duke's, like, they're duking it out. I'm talking about, like, straight up avoiding. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I had to, like, cut somebody out of my life because they weren't like, I don't understand how, like, okay, so, and I think that a part of this communication issue is because we have these devices, right? These devices, they have transformed how people communicate with each other. So when I communicate via text message, I usually kind of communicate as though I was talking to the person right there. And because our phones are always in our presence, there's no way, unless you communicated it, that you weren't going to have your phone on you or something like that for like a period or whatever. Like, I can't leave somebody hanging and like be like, oh, you know, I forgot to respond to you because I was, you know, busy or something. If I can't respond properly, I would say, I can't respond right now. I'll talk to you later. It's that simple. Just be like, hey, I can't talk right now. Instead of just like completely ghosting them, because then you're leaving the person like, oh, like, am I important, or did I misinterpret this? You're kind of just being a dick, really. But yeah, it's like I said, we've apparently, like, the devices have completely taken over people's minds, because if we didn't have these devices and that's how people actually communicated, they just like in middle of a conversation just walked off. Fuck you. There's like, what the fuck? No, that's not communication.
There's no like transition, like, okay, I have to go get some coffee.
Yeah, like, oh no, there's something bigger going on there, and it's unfortunate. And the thing is people are normalizing it now because they can. Because they don't want to deal with stuff. They want to avoid dealing with their true selves. So there's that. I think people should just genuinely express themselves, say the truth all the time, as clearly as you possibly can know about yourself, because if not, then what the fuck are you doing? If you're not being yourself and expressing yourself as honestly as you can, even if you come off as a bitch, like I know I'm sure I come off as a bitch sometimes, but it's because I've had to deal with bullshit communicators. And like when you're a bitch and you're kind of like just direct with them, it kind of like knocks them off, like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be communicating, or I'm not supposed to be not being here, you know? Like, I'm pulling you back down to what, you know, pulling you back down to the planet, like, oh yeah, we have to deal with our responsibilities. We have to deal with being a human and speaking our truth and being here and communicating properly to other species, other human beings. You know, because like, how else are we going to solve problems? Our own and as a species. And you can't solve a species problem without solving your own problems. And solving your own problems sometimes requires help and communication. Side note.
Sometimes uncomfortable communication.
Sometimes uncomfortable communication. But you know what? I love that shit because it's a new experience. And I thrive off of new experiences because it's new knowledge and it's fresh. Mm-hmm. And that's where you can get the most authenticity. Fun fact, new moon, I think tomorrow. So,
what does that mean to you?
Say
too loud. I don't like that. That's right in my ear.
That's what I feel like pulsating through me every time like there's a new moon or a full moon, because it's just like energy that just like, it's just like, I just want to like, new moon is usually, it's new, it's fresh, it's creative, it's also dark. You don't see the new moon, so it's completely of the subconscious.
It's in the magic of working.
It's in the magical world, the spiritual world.
You can't see it, but it's there.
Yeah. So, I just got an insight.
Explain?
I think the reason why Chullachaqui wanted to make his presence known is because he's pissed about the forest not being taken care of.
Chullachaqui is this apparently this necklace back here.
Well, it's a symbol of the spirit of Chullachaqui.
Okay.
And he's a forest caretaker. And if people of the forest don't respect and take care of the forest, Chullachaqui
will awaken.
Well, he'll awaken and he will steal the villagers' children and sometimes take them for their own. Yeah, that's how
it sounds like waking the sleeping giant in the American mindset right now. Would you
the same thing. Yeah, awakening the subtle but yet massive fucking huge tidal wave of consciousness that's gonna come around. Because you know what else? See, this is why I don't write down ideas, because it just flows. You know what else is happening? We're going to have to deal with a big fucking thing here in America, and that's the two sides of the brain, which is symbolized by Democratic and Republican parties. And it's all bullshit. It's collapsing the fucking schism of America because it's not fucking real. If you're part of those platforms,
all a fraud.
it's all a fucking fraud, and you fell for it.
Oh, and
you're imbalanced if you go to any one of those, and anybody who's a part of that, you need to wake up.
You can't just be following some party all the time. Like they don't have their shit together. They haven't had their shit together in a long time. You're just looking to someone who doesn't have your answers. Only you do.
That's true. Only you do. Our people, like when I talk to people, I'm like, okay, what program am I talking to? Am I talking to the individual, or am I talking to one of their programs?
The democratic mindset, or
the societal functioning, like, oh, I have to get married, oh, I have to have kids at this time, oh, I have to have another kid at this time, oh, I have to have dinner at 6 o'clock every day. Like,
oh, my favorite, you're 30 years old, you're a woman, and you don't have kids by now, maybe you should start having kids. No.
Fuck that. I don't know if I want to get on that topic because I'll probably lose a lot of friends.
Hey, you're the one who said
I don't know.
with the flow.
Well, I don't know. I just don't understand.
At this point, like, if they're really your friends, are they going to be lost?
No. I just, like, my question is like, when people have children at this point in time, are they having the child consciously or selfishly? Because if you're having a child consciously, that means you are responsible to secure or even consider how the child is going to feel when it starts to wake up and recognize all the shit that you left it to deal with, that you didn't deal with. A lot of human problems going on here on the planet. Oh, mind you, the entire fucking West Coast is on fire right now, and the air quality is less than what it was in 9/11. You are birthing. Yep, I can't. I can't.
It's like the fish tank.
Do you even fucking consider how the child's gonna feel?
It's like the fish tank is getting so dirty that the fish can't even swim in it anymore.
Yeah,
that's where we're at in this world.
I don't know. Maybe I have high standards, or I'm a fucking asshole, but I'm not a fucking asshole, because I would rather adopt and take a child if it was...
I was actually thinking that.
Yeah, take a child out of a terrible situation, maybe try and help to improve it. But to, like, add to the problem of the human species instead of trying to solve it. And then some people say, oh, my child is going to be a genius. You're putting a fucking, like, pressure on a fucking child that's going to solve your problems. Get the fuck out of God.
Okay, just come. Nobody's here.
I know, but I love children, and they do not deserve what's happening or what's going to happen. It just... Like, it's just, I'd rather be a part of the solution than the problem. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the problem is people just don't really consider or consciously create life.
Yep, just
keep repeating the same fucking generational patterns over and over and over again. Don't look at myself. Don't look at what's going on here. Nobody, like...
All right, you made your point.
I don't think I did.
So we can conclude that either you are consciously having a child and know what's happening in this world, and
or you just don't care,
or yeah, like you are consciously having a child, understanding the conditions of this world and our environment that we're in right now, and that they could most likely change for the worst as they have been, or maybe by some miracle could change for the better. I don't know. But
well, I mean, like, so I think the environment would have to affect it as well. I mean, if you are somewhere not in the US, like, and you're having a kid because you feel as though, like, the environment will sustain itself for another 100 years for your kid, that's fine. If you feel that with all your intuition, if you feel that that's what it's like, because I know somebody who's gonna have another kid, but they're doing it. They're in the Amazon like rainforest.
They're conscious.
Yeah, and they're conscious.
Yeah.
And they're aware, and they're capable of protecting it and ensuring their security, and and how the child's gonna feel. Yeah, but I don't know.
Like this person is in a community where
they're actually, it's 10 times healthier than having it. Our society is not, at least in the United States, actually all of Western culture is a parasitic society, meaning it takes from future generations. It takes from you, and it takes from your kids. Every time you invest yourself into this society, you are taking energy
into the system.
Into the system, you're taking energy and vitality, and you literally, like, I'll go into the line of literally taking blood, like blood and souls from the future generation, and it's just feeding off of that bullshit.
I'll have to correct you on that. When you are playing with the old system that created this mess, or when you're investing in the old system that is creating this mess, you're just maintaining the old system that is a piece of shit. Investing in society is totally different. You can invest in society
investing
in a different
in
way.
community.
Yeah, community. Yeah,
because society is a collection of communities. Communities is more a collection of like the localities and stuff like that.
Oh, that's something's in my pants.
Oh. 29 years. I've never heard that
there's
come
like
out of your
underwear or something that, like, you know, during the laundry, if there's like
you got a sock in there?
It feels like underwear in like my pants leg.
Weird. But yeah, this society is not designed for.
Yep, it was underwear.
Oh my god. I don't know if we can cut that out. All right, whatever. Anyways, what I was saying is this society is not designed for children whatsoever. It's not cultivating their growth. It's not cultivating their own purpose and inner souls and who they are as just a being, as a human
living being.
Yeah, a living little being. Children already have their soul essence before they're born. And the thing is like we don't recognize that because we don't want to imprint our bullshit on it.
We don't nurture it how it already naturally is.
Yeah, and it like that's the thing is like if we did that, everything would be of order.
Yeah, it's like having
instead of this chaos that we're in right now.
Having a blank state of a being, and then you have this certain
purpose from nature,
from divine nature,
because everything
and
has
then
a
you
purpose
have
in nature.
Society that we have now
and saying no,
you have to do this way, and this goes this way, and then this divineness dies.
Yeah, and that's why there's a lot of people that have mental breakdowns, or they have midlife crises and all that other shit. And then you have the society that we have now. Chaos, destruction. And, you know, that's a part of a bigger cycle, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the biggest thing. And then we should kill it. But the way that life is now, and if you do not understand how, like, the better, like, there is good things in life, but society, if you look at it, as it is now, it's completely fucked up. And the biggest thing is that it doesn't have to be that way. Humans, the majority of humans that choose ignorance over seeking truth have fucked it up for a lot of other people.
Okay.
And not for me, I'm not enslaved, but a lot of people choose ignorance and enslavement.
Okay, I do want to point out that I'm still onto this Russell J. Gould, the Postmaster General, the real Postmaster General. I've been keeping up with him, and he's been on a couple of
truth
radio show hosts, and he keeps claiming that he says, I am what I am, and I do what I say. So I take that to heart, Russell J. Gould, and he has said in some of the radio or podcast talk shows that he has been up on within the past, I think, 4 to 6 days, he has said that soon, around election time, that there will be some performances within the court system from him, and he will get to show the world what he's about and what he's doing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Some of our followers who don't know who Russell J. Gould is,
you can look up the movie,
the documentary War Castles,
or no, Last Flag Standing.
The Last.
And then from there you can go into other series.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
there is it's called a War Castle series as well, where it goes farther in depth with what he's done. And there's also multiple videos that I have found on YouTube. There could be other places where he is doing what he has been saying, which is he has created new systems that are correct,
based in truth.
Even back in the 1990s, he's trying to teach this.
Yeah.
So to me, that shows me that he is doing what he has said for a long time.
Can I say something?
What a man. Haven't yeah, sure.
Okay. So, like, people always say, well, Donald Trump's the president. Yeah. No, he's fucking not.
If you really looked at it, it's
not true.
It's a fraud. He's
all a fucking fraud.
Like,
and I always say
technically, it's our government has been out of commission. It's been a fraud since 1999. They have been lying to you, saying like, oh no,
yeah,
it's just the same.
Trump and Biden are both part of the same parasitic system. They're both parasites. They really are. And if you can't see that, you need to wake the fuck up, because guess what? You know why? I just heard about this. You know, I heard this was a pretty good source. If I can find it, I'll put it in the link. But you know, if anybody else notices this, when Trump talks, like he goes, or like when he talks, he sniffs. It's in your chest. It's not a good breathing. And I learned that he does that, and I can guarantee you this is probably a fact. That it's because he did coke in the 80s.
Wouldn't doubt it. Why don't you explain to the audience?
And he partied with like Epstein and all those other fucking parasites and all the other political bullshit characters. Barack Obama, Bush, they're all fucked up. What?
Yeah. Why don't you explain to me what we've seen at the dollar store the other day? I didn't know what this was. Maybe someone else on the internet, I don't know, maybe as naive as I am and didn't know what it was, but I thought it was pretty interesting. But we were at the dollar store the other day, and there was a cashier there. He seemed fine. I was like, great guy. I said hi. He said hi back, and then you would tell him your perspective.
So you left, and then he handed me my money, my change back, and then I saw as he handed me the money, he had a very long fingernail, and it was sharpened. And
it was a dude.
I was like, hey, yeah, it was a dude. And I was
usually dudes have their fingernails.
I was like, really, dude? Coke finger on your index finger? Like, at least try to hide it. So I went out to Lindy. I was like, hey, did you notice Coke finger? And the only reason I know that is a Coke finger is because I used to work in a ghetto-ass company, a cleaning company, work second shift. And all of the rest of the employers, except for me, I wasn't a user. They all did cocaine apparently. And I learned from a ghetto ass manager, I was like, why the fuck is his fingers pointed like that or whatever? And she told me, she's like, oh yeah, a lot of people do cocaine, and when you snort cocaine, you like can maneuver it in your nostril instead of like picking your nose. You can maneuver it and get it where it needs to go or some shit. I don't fucking know. So it's weird. But can I say one more thing?
I just have some questions about this.
So like there's cocaine in the United States, which the CIA just doused all of that bullshit on the the coca plant is completely different than cocaine that people understand it to be in the US. In the US, it's a completely different chemical alteration with a bunch of stuff added to it. and it's not in its sacred
Just
form.
like vaccines.
Yeah. The coca plant by itself
Anything man-made sucks.
actually serves its purpose in native cultures where they would run up mountains and they would put like a little bit, they would just chew on the coca leaves because it would expand or bring blood to your lungs. It would open up your lung capillaries or some shit like that. But they never, I don't know if they ever snorted or anything, but it wasn't, they just chewed on it and that's how they would get into their bloodstream. And then they had it as like a crop. But people started to abuse it or use it and abuse it. And then now it's now it's altered from its actual natural biochemical state. And it's made into this white powder. So it's completely stripped, kind of like cane sugar. You strip and alter, take all the nutrients out of cane sugar, and now it's just this white cocaine. But it's, I mean, I've never done cocaine before. I've only tried the coca plant, and I put it a little bit in my mouth, and you can actually feel it has a heightening effect, kind of like drinking a whole cup of coffee, but it's a different feeling, but it's a stimulant.
It's not extreme.
Yeah, it's not extreme. And even nowadays, it's so people, so I will say this, I did experiment in my college days with Adderall. Adderall is given to children. It is I cannot believe that they give this to children. It basically just it overstimulates the dopamine. It's pure cocaine. What is it?
Pure stimulant.
No. It's
dopamine?
No,
serotonin.
It's a it's an amphetamine. It's a pure, the purest form of amphetamine, and that's that's goes straight through a child's bloodstream, and they say that that's supposed to help that people that have ADHD or
instead
ADD,
of naturally working with the child and the
that's
perceived
insane
disorder,
and then they get dependent on it, and then they crash. It's insane. Yeah, I could go on stories about Adderall and stuff, but
I was just gonna ask, do you only have one coke finger, or is there multiple, or
I mean,
did the guy only have one?
Usually if you're gonna this guy was just straight up, he didn't give a fuck, and he had it on his index finger. Usually people who do cocaine
Classic
and want to
pinky.
hide, they have it on their pinky finger, and they'll grow the nail out and then fucking shave it to point it so that they can stick it up their nostril.
So now you know why all those ladies who have those fucking witch finger.
No, they're just in their addiction. We'll talk about that in it.
They're in their fingernails. There is no point in having that.
Yeah,
except for either A, doing coke and it's helpful, or B, I don't know, you want to be some type of dinosaur.
Their
with
brain is wired, and they haven't realized it, that their brain is wired for addiction, and that's due to trauma, and that we'll talk about in another video.
Have a good day.
Sorry, no music.
Thanks for watching our video. We'll see you next time on Twin Talk Topics. Are you gonna play it or what?
That was bad.
Don't do drugs, folks.
Don't do the D.
I won't do drugs, or I will respect myself.
Drugs and
dare.
Drugs and natural medicines
attitude.
are actually very misinterpreted. Natural medicines do. Drugs that are chemically
I
produced
won't have an attitude, or I will respect myself. I will educate me now.
At least do that.
With the truth.
Yes.
All right, bye.